All right, the Catholic Church is once again the major subject of a major scandal as continuing accusations regarding child sexual abuse have eroded trust in the church. And now, a new report written by an Archbishop claims Pope Francis may have been aware of allegations concerning one of the top members of the Catholic Church. Here's One America's Jack Posobiec.
All right, I'd like to welcome to One American News. We're sitting down with Gabe Hoffman, the owner and the producer of the groundbreaking, highly acclaimed documentary, An Open Secret. This documentary exposes the rampant issue of child sexual abuse inside of Hollywood. It's been released in Vimeo, millions of views, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, extremely successful film. So this is something that you've done on the ground in California. You've focused very primarily on Hollywood. Now, if you can help us to walk through what exactly is this, what's now being referred to as the McCarrick memo that's come out, and what are the implications for Pope Francis?
Archbishop Carlo Vigano is the former Vatican ambassador. Just a few days ago, he wrote an 11-page concerning Cardinal McCarrick and many others involved in child sex abuse in the Catholic Church. What this 11-page letter details are numerous instances where Pope Francis, through meetings, letters, and other official communications, notified about Cardinal McCarrick, yet he did nothing.
And we understand there's also now reports out there that Pope Benedict and sources close to Pope Benedict have confirmed at least this part of the memo, that he did indeed put sanctions on McCarrick, and that those were later taken off by Francis.
This letter also details the names of 24 cardinals who either knew about Cardinal McCarrick and helped cover it up, knew about other child sex abuse in the Catholic Church and covered it up, or in some cases were actual pedophiles themselves and others in the church knew about it.
Now, how does this tie in to the Pennsylvania grand jury report, which also seemed to come out right around the same time?
Once it was released, it was an absolute bombshell. Over 300 priests accused of child sex abuse, over 1,000 victims, and more are still coming forward. A priest was a child molester, was kicked out of the church, and then the church actually wrote a letter of recommendation for this priest to go and work at Disney World. Archbishop Wuerl of Pittsburgh is now Cardinal Donald Wuerl, in charge of the Washington, D.C. Archdiocese.
So McCarrick steps down, and the person they bring in to replace him is Wuerl.
Yes, Donald Wuerl, who was protecting pedophile priests in Pittsburgh while he was the Archbishop.
And we've actually heard from One American News sources that Wuerl is in the Vatican right now as we speak, trying to deal with some of this stuff.
Yeah, and in McCarrick's case, he was a pedophile for decades, whether it was some underage or some young seminarians, as he moved from Newark eventually to Washington, D.C. In the case of now Cardinal Wuerl of Washington, D.C., he's not accused of anything directly himself with children, just covering up. The people on the ground are moving much more quickly than the Vatican. While the Vatican leaves Donald Wuerl in charge of Washington, D.C., despite the damning Pennsylvania grand jury report, a school in Pennsylvania named after Cardinal Wuerl has already moved to change its name, and a number of priests were cited in local news reports in Washington, D.C. just this weekend, even though they work under Cardinal Wuerl, calling for his resignation.
How does the Catholic Church deal with something like this, in your view?
From what we've seen, nothing short of a full cleansing of leadership, a full disclosure of all of the Vatican files and all of the local files in dioceses around the world will truly get the public to trust the Catholic Church again.
Incredible. Well, Gabe Hoffman, An Open Secret, you are welcome to come on anytime. You know that here at One America News, these are the types of stories that we will absolutely continue to cover, and we will cover this and all future developments on it.
My pleasure.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.